just like that, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Wednesday edition of One on One
Yes.
Wednesday on hashtag Fade to Black. I'm your host, Donna Almonte31 here with my bruh who came in at the nick of time, Beast Johnson. How you doing, my man?
I'm here, man. I'm always gonna hear, man. You know I got to slide in sometimes like me.
You know it. And this whole entire show is going to be presented by Cheddar Boy Popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. The
They
only,
got that work now.
yes, the only black popcorn in all of the Seattle area. And not to mention, I don't think I mentioned this on the show, but I'm going to
Only
mention it right
popcorn with
now.
resealable bags.
Yes. And they're going to be sold where the Seattle Seahawks will be played and also the
That's what's up.
famous Pike Marketplace. Now, what I mean by that is their popcorn is going to be there at, because it used to be called Century Link, but they got bought out with a different name called Lumen Field. It's called Lumen Fields now. Their popcorn is going to be served there at the games. So if you go to a Seahawks game or you're a big Seahawks fan, don't forget to pick up your Cheddar Boy popcorn. Now, you think that you are too far away that you can't get any real Cheddar Boy popcorn? You are sadly mistaken. They also send and they also deliver. If I can find their information, here we go. Only thing you got to do is go to their website at realcheddarboypopcorn.com. 12 different flavors. Check them out. And they local near me here too. Now they make hot dogs, funnel cakes. They got some bomb bee lemonade. Oh my gosh. If y'all here in the Des Moines area, Kent area, you got to come and check out Cheddar Boy Popcorn. They're open Mondays through
They got that
Fridays.
Southern lemonade.
Oh.
They ain't got that
Don't
sweet
worry.
tart. Either.
Hey, don't worry. You know us Southern folks. You know we like that where we can taste the diabetes. You know they
Mhm.
got that's that
If I
type of living.
if I forget how many toes I feel on my foot at any given moment, that is a mark of good Southern confectionery sweets.
Yes.
If you just like if you look at it and you can already feel the nerves in your pinky toe deadening, yeah, that's worth a slice right there. Let me go and get that corner piece right there.
So
Yeah.
before we go into our opening statements, we want to do a big shout out, which I appreciate Beast for doing this, for Seepaway. Now, Seepaway has also been a very busy man and also being a notable figure in Guinea-Bissau, not only just Guinea-Bissau, but the whole entire continent of Africa. If you don't believe us, you think Cheech Stone was living her best life? Let's let Seepaway.
All I gotta say is Africa. It's two other brothers that's trying to come back home. I'm saying y'all got Teach, y'all got Seafway, y'all the hustle Mayo over there. Okay, y'all got education, athletics, and business management. Now you got telecommunications with Donnell and military tactics with Donnell. And now you got music. Come on, what a passport? That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to go home.
Yeah, let's do something. I actually talked to a producer out in Africa, thanks to Teach, that's actually running a state network, and he wants to collaborate. So can't wait to do that. But let's show you how Seepaway is enjoying his best life out there.
Look at that man over there.
Man, no.
Swimming for the nation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, don't kid yourself. There's more.
We getting.
Wait, before I say wait. Answer no.
Well, hopefully, he won that little tournament. Hopefully, that was from his recent post. He actually posted something to us about the reparations and all that stuff, but we're gonna save that for a different show. But it's just great that Sleepaway is still living out his dream and still being the patriarch of Guinea-Bissau. So, just a big shout out to Sleepaway. It was great getting the message from him in the from our group. So it was great. Yeah. So anything you got to add before we go into the opening statements?
Immense pride. Immense pride for any brother that can find his roots and be accepted. So other than that, that man know how I feel when it comes to him. I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm proud of him. I really am. I mean, he was set out to do it. It sucked that the Olympics had other plans, but he's doing something a lot better than the Olympics. Olympics is not something that's going to solidify, you know, who he is and a great swimmer that he is. There's other people also got to understand there are other organizations. Just because it's shown on TV is not always the end all be all. Like for example, I'm gonna use wrestling, and I got my boy Bizarre was watching. He will understand what I'm saying. Just because you're now in the WWE does not mean you can't make a living on the indie scene. Look at AEW. People thought AEW was going to go down under, and look at them. They're right there with WWE. If you think about it, you know, with content, with the stars, you even though
Actually, they're beating.
yeah, and the crazy thing is, even the big stars or stars that had great didn't have a great career in WWE is now having great careers in AEW. But that could go for anywhere. Like in football, you know, the team that you probably got drafted by probably is not the team for you, but now you're with a different team and you just having a stellar career. I mean, that could go with anything. Beast like in your lane with if your label that you were signed with at first wasn't giving you all the support, giving you all the money for your projects, but then you decide to either go independent. Let's say independent, because 9 times out of 10, when artists realize that the labels are messing them over, they say, let's go independent, and realize, damn, all the money that I'm making, boxing too. People was criticizing Mayweather for going by himself. And guess who finally figured it out and said, like, you know what, time for me to go by myself. And that was Pacquiao. And I'm not a big Pacquiao fan, but it's unfortunate that he realized that, damn, if I was in business for myself, look at all the money I would have been making. Look at all the money I would have been sending over there to the Philippines and helping them out, which he is running for president. And I wish, and
He gonna win.
and me as a respectful hater, I wish him nothing but the best. Now, hopefully he do win. And here's the craziest thing too: the Filipino community here in Seattle loves him. When he fought Adrian Broner, and they for the first time ever, I actually watched a pay-per-view fight in the theater. Like it's taking it back in the day, and go because AMC had a special. And the Filipinos was up in there cheering like, yeah, like this old dude. He was in the handicap section, had nothing but Pacquiao stuff on. And when Pacquiao came out there, Pacquiao, I'm like, oh shit. But still, you know, I was still rocking with Adrian, bro. I was like, look, I'm still rocking with Adrian, bro. I'm not a big Pacquiao fan. I let it show. I was sitting with this one dude. Unfortunately, he was a Eagles fan, but also he loved boxing. And you know, Philadelphia is known for boxing. So me and him was talking about Rocky Marcianos. We were talking about Ali. We were talking about Hagler. We were talking about everybody. And you know, and he picked Pacquiao. So you know, but long story short, ladies and gentlemen, just a big super shout out to Sleepaway and what he's doing, and that y'all should take a lesson from what he's doing. You don't have to be in the Olympics to make a huge impact, not only just for your community, but not only for the people that you love, but for somebody else that needs some inspiration and just think that they just been left behind until somebody comes in their community and say, look, this is what I'm doing. You could do it too. And so I
Get
just
on
want to put
board.
that point. Yeah, just want to make that point. But other than that, let's go into these opening statements. And since you started last time, Beast, I think it's time for me to start off for this show because I got something to say about this Dave Chappelle backlash. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on the Almonte show, I had been doing I already did 3 shows about the Dave Chappelle stand up, his last one, the closer. And I wanted to bring it up on here, but I don't want to stay too much on it because it's still a hot topic. You got a lot of people that's on Dave Chappelle's side and saying that it's just jokes, and then you got people on the other side that's saying that what he's saying is harmful and dangerous. Now, on my last show, and that was last night, even though it was my boy Woodard was the one that was doing the question, and then my other boy, James from Wisconsin. I don't want to paint Dave Chappelle as a villain. I don't want to put him as a bad guy. What I'm saying is comedians should be held accountable for the jokes that they make. If you really want to understand a comedian, or at least as an audience member, when you hear a joke, you want to know their experience because you could relate. Like, for example, if you're going through a divorce, would it be nice to hear somebody's going through a divorce too and make it funny? You may be going through it, but it's great to know that somebody's going through it just as bad or have been through it and making the joke about it. Would that make you feel good? Or you rather hear from somebody that haven't went through a divorce, probably never got married, or they probably is married, and they making that joke about your divorce? Would you feel offended? See, these are the questions that people are not ready to ask. People just want to say it's all jokes. Let's all have a laugh about it. I'm not going to laugh if you never experienced it for yourself. Here's a big example. I think this is the best example of this whole entire Dave Chappelle thing. You got that one friend that always like to crack jokes on people. And they take it too far. Or they just pinpoint that one person where they could just joke on and knowing that they won't say nothing back. Or they probably just say, man, just leave me alone. Like, why you gotta joke with me like that? Why you gotta say things like that? And then that one person just gonna sit there and say, well, man, man, I'm just playing, dog. I'm just playing. That's what's going on with Dave Chappelle in a nutshell when it comes to the trans community. That's the issue. That's the problem. Because that one friend that keeps making jokes at that other friend that is so easy to pick on, he's not going to know what that person is going through. Let's say that person is going through a divorce and you sitting there joking about him, about his girl and how you could have had her and all that stuff. And then he's going to pull out a gun and he's going to test your gangster. You think, oh man, I'm just playing, Joe. I didn't know. You think that's going to help? You think that's going to work? Because number one, you haven't experienced what that person has gone through. Number two, you didn't even ask. But I mean, so many layers when it comes to friends. But the biggest thing is, if you have not experienced what you're joking about, you're going to rub somebody the wrong way. And you have to deal with the consequences. And that's why Dave Chappelle, because a lot of people say Dave Chappelle is winning. Dave Chappelle is not winning. He is not. But am I saying that what he's going through now is tarnished? No. Because knowing if I know Dave Chappelle like I do know, eventually he's going to have to face the music. You just can't sit there and just poke the bear and then throw the stick and just play victim. He's going to get called to the carpet. And like I said on the Almonte show, what I'm going to say now, Dave Chappelle should go to an LGBTQ community. I don't want him to go to the organizers or organizations that are for the LGBTQ community because that's too easy. I don't want him to do that. I want him to actually, uninvited, go to an LGBTQ community, hear their frustration, hear their plight, and just be like, look, I'm just here to see what I done wrong, what I said wrong. I'm here. I'm here to listen. Go. Host a show, whatever. Because you just can't sit there and make a joke and then ask for, let's all come together. Well, you never experience the trans community. That's disingenuous. For somebody to say a joke, they have to have an experience with what they're joking about. You can't vicariously live through somebody else just for you to make that joke. And one name that I mentioned, Carlos Mencia, is a big example. This man has stole jokes from not even just from top comedians, but also from comedians that was on the rise. Stole their jokes. Meaning all the jokes that he stole, well, one, he didn't create them on his own. And two, he didn't have no experience with the jokes that he was saying. He just knew that it was funny. I'm going to use it without any permission. And everybody know in the comedian world, that's a big no-no. I'm also not saying that I'm going to go ahead and yield the floor. I'm going to say this. This is not, for me, taking away Dave Chappelle as being one of the greats. He's up there with Richard Pryor, Paul Mooney. He's up there with Norm Macdonald. He's up there with Don Wrinkle. He's up there with my boy Red Fox. He's up there with Eddie Murphy. There's no doubt about that. But just because he is up there with those greats, does that excuse him for criticism? Definitely, if you have no experience with the trans community, you just can't use a trans friend that unfortunately took their life, defending him. Use her to say that you understand the trans community. It doesn't work like that. If we can criticize a white man for saying that I'm not racist because I got black friends, Dave Chappelle should not get a pass neither. That's all I'm saying. Not trying to make him a villain. I just want him to take accountability for the people that he offended with his special and find a way to make it up to him. The community should go to him. He should go to the community. Because if somebody offended you, would you expect them to come to you and say what I did wrong or at least apologize? Because I don't think it works the other way around. And with that, I yield the floor.
I just want folk to take a little bit of accountability for the things that they do and the things that they say. It don't take a whole lot, you know. It don't really take a whole lot to just say, I fucked up, or I'm in the wrong. You can be in the wrong and still be right. You could be right and still be in the wrong. Point being, when that time happens, be grown enough to say, yeah, I was at wrong, or I could at least see how you feel from your perspective. When you do that, you have a better chance of conversing, actually getting to a resolution about things. You definitely need that when you're dealing with relationships. You definitely need that just dealing with individuals and humans. Because when you can't take accountability and say what you did was in wrong, or you could understand how a person would feel, you'll never be able to get sympathy or actual respect or help from others, because nobody's ever going to see it your way, because you chose not to see it their way. You chose not to understand, so why would you expect anyone to understand you? I don't care what type of trauma, what type of logic, what type of bullshit lies you try to use to wrap your head around it. Point is, you're a piece of shit person, and nobody will ever really be able to love you or respect you like you feel as though you deserve. Whose fault is that? But you're wrong. So if you don't want to be that way, then learn how to say, I'm sorry, I fucked up. Now that goes to with you trans and you LGBTs and you social justice warriors. Both of you motherfuckers be in the wrong a lot of times. But through this perverse mindset that you got established, you feel as though you can get away with saying anything because you're a minority. Guess what, bitch? I've been a fucking minority my whole goddamn life. Still can't say everything I want to say. I still got to own up to some shit. I still get people saying I'm in the wrong. I still got to say, yeah, I was wrong. I went too far. Or I could have handled it better. I didn't have to be so abrasive or aggressive. Simple acts like that show your humanity, shows your true character, shows that you're not just a piece of shit pretending to be a human. So accountability is integral to integrity. You can't say you have integrity and you can't take accountability for the most simplest of errors. And how can you expect someone to understand you when you fail to willingly and consciously take the effort to understand them? And with that, my rant is over, and I yield the floor.
Yeah.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Don't forget to tune in to Off the Clock with Mr. Jones. He will have special guests from everybody, from the coaches to commissioners and hopefully referees dealing with youth football in the greater Seattle area here in Washington. Unfortunately, we will not be doing the show this weekend, but we're going to be doing a rerun of a past shows. But we will be back the Sunday after. You should tune in every Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Other time zones, get in where you fit in. All right, so Beast, we need to talk about some unfinished business that we had. I think it was on a Wednesday. No, it was on the Friday. It was on Friday. Halloween.
Yes.
We left out of that. My boy Bazaar's put people forget the power of saying I am wrong and let me learn. Yeah. Yes. You know what? Let's talk about that because Beast, you also mentioned something in that too as well. Because I'm happy that you tied in the point of like including the LGBTQ community, they need to hold some accountability. Not some, they need to hold accountability too as well. And I agree with that because I think it's gotten overboard to the point where people just, like you say, can say whatever, and then come to find out it wasn't even like that. And it's
like
just
Dave Chappelle says, that we live in a land which is true, and I hate the fact that if I say I love you, then it automatically means I love you unconditionally, 100% through all your bullshit. Like I love you and I accept you for your faults without expecting change. That's what people think. So if I disagree with you, I don't love you. I hate you. If I have a different view than you, if I like Coke and you like Pepsi, well, that means you ain't shit.
Yeah.
If I like McDonald's, you like Burger King, you're a piece of shit, worthless human.
Yeah.
That's basically because that's basically how they acted. Oh, you don't understand it? That means you hate it. No, I just literally don't understand
it. And also help me to understand it. I've been in situations like that where I'm like, I don't want to come at you disrespectfully, but I want to understand and know what the issues and problems is. And then sometimes us as Black folks, we fall for that too as well. What I mean is when you have somebody like say a white person would say like, you know what, with so much going on in this culture, I want to know what are my boundaries. And you got a lot of the Black conscious movement sitting there saying, man, we don't want it. Why we gotta explain to you? Your people already destroyed us. But you got somebody that's legitimate that really wants to understand our plight. They want to understand our struggle. What can I do to help you out? Because you do got some white folks that there are down for the cause, if you know what I mean. And Beast, in the South, I know a couple of them, and you probably know a couple of them that's like down for the cause.
Southern white folk is only Southern Black folk know the difference between redneck and good old boy. Because see, if you ain't from this area, if you ain't really raised up in the South, you don't know that there's a difference, and you don't understand why you see like rednecks that's cool with Black folk. You're like, well, how you gonna hang with him? Who, Cletus? Man, Cletus is cool as fuck. What you talking about? Cletus is good people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he look like a racist. I mean, his daddy is, but shit. His daddy ain't shit. You hear him tell him, so fuck it. Oh, no, he a redneck. He ain't a good old boy. What's the difference? Rednecks are white niggas. They live in trailer parks. They're disenfranchised. The vast majority of the men are deadbeat, alcoholic, abusive, and under paperwork of the government and the law enforcement. Don't that sound like niggas?
Mm-hmm. Sound like it to me. And it's funny, Bizarre put this right here. He said, remember the times at the bar we just sit with people to listen and learn. I'm gonna tell you a story. Let me tell you a story about what my boy Bizarre did. So me and him, we used to be the same, the A6 Cash, which dissolved a couple years ago. He took me to this country bar because we're in Kentucky. Well, Fort Campbell is on the borderline, state line of Tennessee and Kentucky. So we went to this bar in Tennessee. And my mama always told me to observe your surroundings and all that stuff. So
My daddy
we're the
told me
only look. We're the only two minorities at this bar. My boy Bizarre
Don't
is
say it.
Puerto.
Don't say it. Y'all the only splash of color on the vanilla board.
Yeah, I mean, look, my boy Bizarre is full-blooded Puerto Rican. I'm telling you, he got me addicted to some Puerto Rican shit. So I'm gonna say that. I mean, he got me to
Well,
go. He got me to go to Puerto Rico on my R&R for deployment, but I digress. Got not trying to go too much off the tracks. So we
that's for a
sit there.
pay-per-view moment. So we can
Yeah,
tell you the truth.
yeah, you're saying. So I'm sitting at the bar. I'm nervous as fuck. And I'm like, yo, B, man, I think we should just get a beer, just go ahead and go. He's like, nope, nope. And I can feel people looking at us. Like I can leave. I mean, if everybody had like the Superman power up, the laser eye, they would have already been right through me and Bizarre. We already been destroyed. That's how many eyes was on us. So we sit there, we get the beer. I'm sitting there fucking nervous, like, yo, like, B, we should go. I'm not feeling this. He's like,
Right,
all he
shit.
kept doing. So I see this one white dude, and he just looking at me. He comes over, sits down next to me, and he says, "You in the military, son?" And I was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
sir." And he said, "I want to thank you for your service." And he shook my hand. He was like, "You know," he said, and he did the same thing to my boy B. He's like, "You in the service too?" He said, "Yes, sir." He's like, "You know what? Thank you for your service. You know what? Give
Drinks
these
on me.
men, yeah, that's basically what he said. He said, give them a drink, whatever they drinking, on me." That broke the ice. It was fucking ridiculous because everybody that was looking at us, now they was talking to us. Because majority of everybody that was up in it was either military, prior military, or they had people that was friends with the military, and that broke the ice. And ever since
Military
then,
and music.
yes, when my boy Bizarre is, I always tell that story, and I tell everybody, I say you should go into places that makes you. I won't say make you uncomfortable. Just go to places that you never even thought that you ever go in. Like over here, I never been to. Only time I've been to a gay bar was in Nashville. I forgot what the place was called. I think it's called Seven. It was a number. That was the only time I went to a gay club. And then coming over
That's how
here,
they get
that's
you.
all.
Going
Yeah,
to
and
Club
that's
7.
yeah,
You going to Club 7, huh?
yeah. So coming over here, there's nothing but gay bars here. Like this one dude, he brought this one fine chick to the Bears. I mean, bad. Look, Beast, I put you like this. If you saw his chick, you would have been like, we would have had conversation. You would have just did the zip.
Word? Like, oh, she like that?
Yeah.
Like, what's good, baby?
You probably would have been talking to her, and dude probably would be like, "Yo, that's my girl." That's how it would have been. Look, I'm not.
With me.
No, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that soldier game won't tight. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying.
I'm saying lollipop is with me.
yeah, like
if you know, you know.
Right. That's perfect. So I'm like, dude, I said, how you find her? He said, man, you gotta go to this gay bar. I'm like, huh?
Gay bar.
Gay bar. Yeah, that's why. I didn't say that to the point.
But that's in your mind, you was like Tim Taylor.
Yeah, because I was like, I know there's other bars out there. He said, man, I said, I'm not like that, but I was like thinking to myself, like, that gay bar? He's like, yeah. So he wasn't lying. So this before I had my vehicle when I came over here. I would take an Uber, and I went to this place called the Mix in Tacoma, and I saw nothing but fine, good-looking women that hung around a lot of gay dudes and lesbians. And the crazy thing was, I'd be having conversations with them. I told him I like if a gay dude come over there and he's trying to. they don't come at you. They don't hit on you at first, ladies and gentlemen.
Most of them know. They can tell who really like now. Let's be real. Like just like with men that are overly aggressive and don't know how to play their position. That happens in the gay world too. You got some gay dudes that be like, I want you because you straight. Thank you, but no.
Right, and the crazy. It's funny you mentioned that, Beast. So one time, I think it's one of the last times I used the Uber before I got my my ride. It was this nice looking female Air Force chick. She was doing like Lyft on the what's it, Lyft or Uber? No, she was doing Uber on the side. And me and her, were just talking, and then she was like, you would believe, because she like, where you going? I was like, I'm going to the Mix. She was like, it's a gay bar, right? I said, yeah, I know. I said, I've been there a couple times. She was like, yeah. She was like, every time I go up in there, the lesbians just be hitting on me. And I was like in my mind, I was like, yeah, you fine. But I said, they be hitting on you like that? She was like, yeah. She's like, they're just or even more aggressive than men. Because she'd be like, I'm straight. I don't go that way. She would tell me, she told me a story one time that she told this one lesbian, like, I'm straight, thank you for the compliment. She said that girl kept hitting on her the whole night until she left. And I'm not talking about lesbian. I'm talking about her till she left. And I was surprised to hear something like that, because I was like, oh, okay.
I just don't care.
Yeah, and that took me off guard. I'm like, oh, okay, but with all that being said, I encourage anybody and everybody to go to areas where you hear stories, even good stories. Go check it out, man. Don't be afraid. If you go into a freaking hick bar and you the only spook up in there, and they sing a karaoke, trust me, go ahead and sing a King of Rogers song. They will all love it.
This is where I got to jump in on there, because I tell that story all the time. It's the quickest way to get free drinks. Yeah, it's the quickest way to get free drinks, my nigga. I have done it. Look here, local bar. I took my mans down there. We was like really the only blacks there, and they were playing the damn Journey. I was like, bro, just watch this. Just watch. I just quietly started singing it, getting louder and louder as the song kept going. And by the time it got to the opus, Street Lights, I hit that motherfucking note. White dude was like, that was no Journey. The whole fucking bar lit up. Everybody started singing. All right, after that, but it was literally on some motherfucking Family Guy shit. Folk that was outside was like, what the fuck? And they just see me in the middle of the bar. Don't stop believing. Hold on to your feelings. They was, hey man, I'll just buy you a drink. I said, sir, I will take a Corona or a Heineken, whichever one you buy. And me and that man got drunk for the whole night. Then another white boy came over, tried to buy some weed from me. I ended up getting to know one of his homegirls, and then found out a week later that she got married the next day.
Next subject.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. My boy Bizarre, he is my boy Bizarre is kicking me back. Remember Kickers by Campbell? Cowboy plays downstairs in hip hop. Oh, okay. So
look, you saying Kickers for a minute. I was like, hold on, y'all been to Greensboro?
Hold up, there's a Kickers over
there? There was.
Okay. So all right. Did it have country at the bottom and had hip hop at the stairwell or on the second floor? All right, so
this was just a one story right here.
All right, so Kickers, what my boy Bizarre is talking about was a bar that all the soldiers went to. So you had two different bars that we planned for. You had Tippers. Tippers was closer to Post, but Tippers was only good on a Friday night.
Mhm.
Saturday night was kickers. And I tested that theory one time. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see how Tippers is on a Saturday night. Tippers dead. Went to kickers on freaking Friday night. Dead. And that's including the freaking country at the bottom because they got the little, the where they do the freaking dancing. I forgot what you call that thing where they do all the line dance and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
Dead. Dead.
that should be
And
fun though. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah, kickers be on point sometimes, but then they had issues with the DJ because the DJ never played no new shit. He kept playing the shit that he was playing last week, and it's just like, dude, and he be playing more of like the underground Tennessee stuff that people
Of course.
even people from that area was like, dude, we don't want to hear this. We want to hear Jeezy because at the time Jeezy was hot. Lil Bootsy, he was still hot. Yeah, you had Jeezy. It's just when you had Jeezy versus Gucci Mane.
Oh yeah,
You
that
even
good old
had
summer.
remember
Bodies
that?
was dropping.
Oh yeah, remember Kill Him with the Flex from the what's it from the franchise boys?
Nah. The franchise had everybody lean with it.
Leave rock with it. Because I remember Kill Him with the Flex and then do the Stakey Leg. And if you wasn't playing those jams right there, the DJs got the side look like. But yeah,
Thought you was a DJ.
yeah, it was great time. I mean, it got so bad that the freaking management was like, we gotta get a new person. We gotta get a new DJ. So they got this one young DJ. He was an up and comer, and he just tore the freaking club down. Sad story.
Boo this man.
Yeah. Sad story. A big storm happened in Tennessee where a majority of like Nashville got freaking flooded. And yeah. And kickers was no more. So the only place you went to was Tippers, local bars, which basically the local bars downtown, which was Clarksville, were just basically jump offs. You know what I'm talking about. Just a jump off spot. You just getting ready. Get the beers. You get the beer that they had cheap because they had those specials.
Yeah.
And once you get good and right, hey man, where you want to go? It was either stay local, go to Tippers, or go to Nashville. And Nashville was something else. And how many of our NCOs we saw? Oh, we saw a whole lot of them. We saw a whole lot of our supervisors up in there.
But they're lied to the death of them.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it'd be some of them that we don't even like up in there. We just blow that spot up.
Oh, that's the ones you want. That's the ones you want to see. That's the ones you want to see drunk and messed up. So you can look at them the next day when they want to give you lip, and you just say, "Come on, baby, mama, baby, do that, come, baby." And they just look at you like,
and it's funny. I actually had to save a first sergeant one time, and then he came back to one of my boys who actually protected his ass and literally just treated him like shit. And I'm like, he defended your ass. You got in a chokehold by the freaking security. And then you tried to take a security.
Oh yeah, that's a good drunk night right
there. So let me explain this story. So this first
that's a good night right there.
This first sergeant was an asshole anyway. So everybody didn't like his ass. So he happened to be at the club at another NCO that we let me stop. Another leader. Let me put this right. Leaders, let's take out the first sergeant. Leaders senior leadership that was there that nobody didn't like, that couldn't stand it.
No one likes leadership.
So as
Smoke
we
some
about
dicks.
so as we about to leave the club, we realize there's a big commotion going on out there. And everybody just, you know how everybody is, want to see what's going on, but then you got people that just standing there because of the commotion. So then me and my boys, we going through like, yo, what's going on? We see one of our senior leaders in a chokehold. So as subordinates, when you see one of your leaders getting, hemmed up, you're going to step in. That's exactly what we did. So I talked to one of the main security guards, and I was sitting there, I was like, what's going on? He was like, well, whoever this person is to you was being drunk, being erratic, and he was...
The man's out of line.
Right, basically, and he's being out of line with one of my security guards. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm that type to be like, before I jump in, if there's a chance, I want to know what is going on. You know? Now, if I see
I got to jump over ledge, I at least like to know where the fuck I need to aim for.
Right. I don't want, and then, like, this is me. If I see Beast in the fight swinging, guess what I'm doing? I'm going in freaking swinging. But if it's Beast, just sitting there, that's talking like, yo, what the F going on? I'm gonna come in the middle, and I want to talk to one of the guys on the other side that he's barking at, and I'll be like, what is going on? Because my boy could be in the wrong, which will put me in a predicament, or it's either one or two things. Number one, Beast could be wrong, and I gotta calm him down. Two, dude is wrong, and you need to go calm him down. Or three, it's a misunderstanding. Period. But for this case, our senior leader was wrong. So he's in a chokehold. So he taps the security guard. And next thing I know, he swings at one of the security guards, swinging a miss. And not to mention, these are a type of stairs. I think like five steps. He swung in the mist, he falls, and then not to mention the security guards pushing him on the ground too, which is asphalt, by the way. We're outside. Pushes him, and then this small little dude come out of nowhere, puts him back in the chokehold, and I grabbed this dude. I'm like, yo, let him go. And every single one of my freaking subordinates came over there. We squaring up with the damn security guard, pull them off, like, get off him. And then this one brother who was one of the barbacks, like, brother, man, you don't want to get involved in this. I'm like, no, that's my leader right there. He said, well, your leader's about to go to jail. I'm like, go to jail for what? He said, because you don't leave, you will be going to jail too, brother. I'm looking out for you. Black dude sitting there telling me this shit. And I'm like, all right. I said, all right. So I got all my boys back, and I'm talking. They finally let go my supervisor, my senior leadership, which the other senior leader was a pussy, because I'm going to tell you exactly what he did. While me and my boys was trying to help one of the senior leaders that happens to be his best friend, he was trying to pull off the guy that I was already like tugging at. And one security guards caught him, and he's like, no, man, I'm just trying to stop it. And I'm looking like, I thought he was your boy. Really? Really? You got at least 5 guys on your mans right here, and you got me and my boys taking them off them. And you walked away?
Listen.
And so after all that happened, the police actually didn't do anything to both the senior leaders. So I drove over there. I was like, hey, y'all good? Even though I didn't like them, I just said, were you good? And he was like, I appreciate what you did and all that. So I'm like, yeah, you are our leaders. We're not going to allow that mess to happen. you know. And in the back of my mind, like, even though I don't like your bitch ass, I can't stand you. I would love to see what else they would have done to you, but what I'm trained to do
Just help your punk ass.
Yeah, it's like, right. Well, I'm trained to do, if I see that happen to another fellow, you know, service member, I'll be wrong. It goes against what I was taught. And then he still came at my boy because my boy, I think he had like haircut or something like that. He said, I want you to have it cut by Monday, which my boy didn't listen. He didn't get cut and he cussed him out. And I'm like, how are you going to come at him? He also saved your ass. He saved your ass too.
That's when you have a Don DC Curry moment, like, ain't this about a bitch? Your drunk ass almost get choked the fuck out, go night-night, little nigga, with no chest out, and you want to, See, this is, I wish there was such a thing as friendly fire.
Oh, my God. It was both crazy. Both them leaders brought out the evil in me. Oh, yeah. Oh, B. Oh, yeah, I'm going to talk about one of the paybacks. I'm not even going to mention the name. Okay. My boy Bazaris, it's funny. It's story time. My boy Bazaris did the most smoothest and most coolest payback ever. That same leader that I just talked to you about, my boy pulled the best payback. So, the scene is Iraq. My boy Bazaar has been traveling all over Iraq. They've been having him take, he's putting out fires. Wherever unit, because we had many different files where we have people's at. Whenever there was a fire, my boy Bazaar, because he's commo, he works computers, tactical. Every time they needed help with their computers or internet, all that stuff, Bazaris was there. They always called him to come there. So when he came down to Sather, where I was at, and he was there permanently, it was great for me because I had my battle buddy. And also Beast's going to be right back. So let me go ahead and continue with my story time. So he comes to Sather. Big relief for me, not only just for me, relief for Woodard, relief for my boy Nate, a lot of us that were just like this. So this senior leader, one day, now B, you can jump in at any time if I get the story wrong. So the senior leader calls my bad boy Bazaris in his office. And just like my boy Bazaris, he's like, hey, how you doing? And this senior leader took it upon himself to say, look, I'm not your friend. I'm not your family. And I'm your boss. Oh, let me bring it back up in here. He said, he's not your friend. I'm not your family. I'm your boss. Out the blue for absolutely no reason. Set this to my battle. Now, I understand in the line of work, there are no friends, there are no family, you're there to do a job. I get that. But when you rub it in somebody's face when there's no harm done, right? When no harm done, why bring that up? So my boy B was like, oh, you gonna come at me? Now, this situation did not fuel the payback. This has been brewing for a while. So a little bit of a backstory. So this senior leader has always had a track record of screwing my boy over. So when he deployed to Iraq at first, screwed my boy out of getting the ARCOM. Like he screwed him out of getting the ARCOM for this last deployment.
That's how you fucking with money.
Yeah. And he kept messing with him by his PT test, kept saying all these things, trying to screw my boy over. So even for my boy B to go into his office and still have a nice, jolly attitude, like, how you doing? He still comes at him. So this one situation wasn't the reason for the payback. This was the freaking, how can I put it? This was the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm not even going to say the straw that broke the camel's back. I would say this was the crack that broke the ice. And I mean that in a bad way. So I was hosting a promotion board. And my boy B, he actually came and asked me. He said, who's on the board? The board members. And I told him that senior leader was going to be on the board. And he was like, okay. Remember I told you my boy B is Kamo. He works with computers and the internet and stuff. So what he does is he can work on somebody's computer remote. You can have a password that, I mean, even God can't even figure it out. My boy B's going to figure it out. And the reason why he called my boy B to the office was to fix his computer. So I'm sitting at the board. You know, I got all the board members, got all their paperwork on the people that's going to be going in for who's going to be doing the board, you know, giving their packets and all that stuff. And I realized that senior leader wasn't there yet. Now, I get there like 30 minutes prior. And everybody else either get there 10 minutes or they're there on time, which is they're late. But they try to get there before the leader, the main guy, comes in. So we all looking at our right.
Beat the boss.
So we all looking at our watches and looking at our phones and looking at the time on the clock. Like, he's usually here before us, which is true. 20 minutes pass, 30 minutes pass. So I had to go outside and check on the soldiers. Well, let me say, the boardees. Mm-hmm. And then next thing I know, he comes in, we all give his proper respects. He's pissed.
That got nothing to do with me, my nigga.
He sits down and he's like, one of the board members who was a brown nose to him. Like, he said, "What are you doing coming in late?" He said, "Why you got all this paperwork and stuff?" Well, now I want to say paperwork. He had the iPad because that's around the time the iPad first came out, which he told everybody in the board not to bring any electronics with your questions. He had iPad and nothing but papers with questions.
So he was asking you, like,
yeah. So the board member was asking, like, why you bring your questions and why you got your iPad? He said, because damn it, all my files with all the questions I want to ask was erased. And that's not the only thing that got erased. A lot of my stuff got erased off my computer. And I was like, no. So when we took the break, I went to the smoke pit where my boy B was. And I said, B. And he was like, yes, with the cigarette in his hand. Like this.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I said, senior leaders complaining that his files, definitely the files for this board, were erased. Really? As he puffs on his
no,
smoke.
sir.
And I was like, when he said that, that's all I needed to know. Let me see. Hold here, my boy B. My boy Bazaar said, no, I broke the link to all his files. Oh, that's even worse.
Like a real nigga. Just like a real nigga. No, let me clarify my bullshit. I didn't slap him. I slapped him like a bitch. Correct yourself.
The
No, I didn't. I fucked up all his links.
He
I fucked all of them up. That's petty as shit. I love this man. This man. We brothers.
look, the whole day, this man was pissed off because he also had meetings that day after the board. And all of his files that was for that meeting, as you saw my boy said, done. So imagine going to the board with nothing. I mean, not the board, going to a meeting with nothing. Absolutely nothing. So he had to come back to me afterwards, which was true. Had to come back because I still, it was funny. That whole day. So days when this senior leader was pissed off was when he didn't have his fix. And what I mean by his fix, I'm talking about that. And you know you're not supposed to have that going down range because it's contraband. But we all knew, as my boy, as he just leaves, he probably having a little technical difficulties. Phone call. But I'm gonna say this real quick, and then we're gonna take a commercial break. I can't believe my boy B is being the main attraction of today's show. But like I was saying, we knew he was in a PO mood was because he never got his drink. Now that's kind of like me if I don't have Coca-Cola in my life. You know, if I have not had my Coca-Cola fix, I'm a whole different person. But this senior supervisor just took it to a whole nother level. So what my boy B did, what he did to his files, it was something that was out of the ordinary. And it was very hilarious and it was very funny. And with that, we're going to take a commercial break and we will be right back. And like that, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Beast will be back on the show in a little bit, but can't believe my boy Bazaris became the star of the show. But Beast is right back.
Yeah.
My boy Bazaris became a freaking star of the show with all the stories and all that stuff. So let's go to the scary movies. So, what scary movies have you already watched thus far, Beast, in this nice time called October?
I've actually been waiting because I am a true horror fan aficionado. So I've kind of periodically watch them throughout the year anyway.
Mhm.
Well, as far as like streaming and whatnot, I tend to wait till about the middle to the end of the year, end of the month. That way I can get a nice, good, healthy selection of them. Because I'm getting more into foreign horror movies, like
Same
subtitles.
here. Same
Coming
here.
out with a lot of good ones. It's one I just seen like a little flick about, but I want to check out the full movie. It's pretty much about this off the grid sociopath and his crew that just take over people's lives and kill everybody that's an inconvenience. Like this dude literally finds this rich couple's house, gets in with the wife, then he gets in with the kids, gets the wife to pretty much beg him to kill the husband because there's already issues there. Then he kills the husband. He never sleeps with the woman. They then took the baby. They then took the babysitter. They got the kids cool. He done brung in two of his homeboys. Then brung in two chicks. They then killed some folks. Took over the house. Put the heads in cement. Then dumped them in the water so they would
Oh
float
shit.
upside down. I said that is the most gangster shit I've ever seen.
Mm.
Dumped their heads in the cement while they was alive. Then decided to dump them in the water.
That's crazy. Shit.
That is gangster. That
But
ain't even gangster. That's motherfucking mafioso.
that's true. Um, have you saw even though this don't count as a scary movie, but I might as well talk about it. Squid Game. Have you finally seen
Squid
that?
Game. Squid Games counts as horror. It counts as horror because there's gore. If there's more than 3 droplets of blood in every other scene, let alone every other fucking episode, oh yeah, it's considered horror. The Squid Games,
I
yeah.
I can you
Squid
know what for me, I think I can agree with that. I like how you explain that with the gore in there. I mean, and then also it's a game. It's a game where they say we can wipe away all your debt, but you just gotta continue playing. And the thing is, these were games that they grew up on. I mean, even though everybody played red light, green light, everybody played that game before. But
Yeah,
all the
but
other, Mhm.
if you notice about that show, the only non-Asian person or other color was a
the
Punjab from India,
yeah, yeah,
and like I say, all the hood folk know, especially when it comes to games like Red Rover, those were
hmm
low key evil games. Why? Because you would pray to the gods and sacrifice to the devil. That the motherfucker you had a problem with was on the opposing team. Like in Dodgeball. Dodgeball is an evil, evil game. Think about it. You're giving me a weapon, no matter how soft it might be. I've seen people knocked out with a dodgeball if the right motherfucker hurls that some bitch.
The Kingdom. I heard about the Kingdom. I need to jump on there and
Yeah,
watch it.
I think I
I haven't seen it yet, but the reason why I
um
bring up
oh yeah, me thinking, oh, the Kingdom. There's a couple different movies I know about the Kingdom.
yeah,
Might check
so
that out.
go back to the Squid Game. that could be a movie that could easily be a hood movie. I'm gonna tell you why.
Well,
Because
no,
look at
it
how
is.
many
Oh, it's
like
already a hood. It's already a hood movie. It's just
yeah.
you
But
couldn't
I
really
mean,
show the type of shit niggas would do in there.
yeah, but I mean, but think about it. I mean, I would, if I was a black director, I would have been like, well, shit, look at how many games we played in the hood. Why can't we make a documentary, not documentary, but make a movie just like that? What games we played? We played kickball. We played hide and go seek, even though people really give it the actual name hide and go get it, if you know what I mean. Uh, I
No,
mean,
no. It's hide and go seek during the day. It's hide and go get
right.
it at night.
That is
Gotta
true.
love them summer nights.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Then also kickball, kickball,
Yeah.
spades. Oh, they gotta put spades up there, and I'm not even the biggest
No,
spades fan.
tunk. Because before anybody started playing
That's
spades, you
true,
was
Tom.
playing tunk.
Yeah,
You was
Tom
playing tunk and rummy.
and bones. Can't forget about bones. Got dominoes. I mean, you can make that into a freaking horror movie.
Yeah, yeah. But see,
Easy.
because it's black folk, and see, this is me. Um, we would do the dozen
Oh,
where
there you
you
go.
you would have to
That's what
zombie.
it's a zombie series
Oh
that
yeah,
takes
oh
place.
yeah, the Asian zombie. Yo, that shit is. It's like
I knew.
feudal.
Oh,
It's like feudal era, but
mhm.
add in zombies.
So Walking Dead meets the
Like
Mummy.
no, like Walking Dead meets Dynasty Warriors.
Oh shit! Damn. Oh yeah, I need to watch that after
Yeah, yeah. I
the
said
show.
feudal. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Usually you say like we talking about the Dynasty era. If you're talking about Japan, you're talking about Dynasty era where or for no, Japan would be feudal. China would be dynasty.
Mm. But yeah,
But that era,
yeah.
yeah, that level, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
you'll like
But
it.
but going back to the Squid Game, if you know to if it was portrayed in black form,
Look, like I said, we would do the
I
dozens.
honestly, I look.
The dozens would be the one game that would completely fuck up the whole movie if you did it on a horror tip.
Mm.
Like say for like, we all remember the dozens. Your mama this, your mama that, your daddy this, your daddy that. Well, what if those same clever repertoire that we use were actually brought forth to life? If you ever played the game Twisted Metal and you know of the character Calypso,
Ooh.
he took words literal. For example, one man said, I want to be seen by the entire world. I want everyone in the world to know my face. So Calypso, i.e., the devil, took this man basically by his face and in game physics stretched it across the moon so
Mm.
that the moon is now his face. Now the entire world will see his face. That's what he asked for, right?
This sounds like some Wishmaster shit.
It still falls along that line. But just imagine you
Yeah.
be out there like, man, your mama's so fat. Your mama's so fat, she wider than all outside. Now pops up to this nigga mama being stretched
Uh,
to see if she could actually be wider than all outside. It's like this, like next this. Nah, we ain't doing that. He gets shot in the head. Next one up. Next this.
oh, or I can hear a
Uh,
joke like your mama's so
like now people scared. Nah, fuck that. I'm getting cut though.
yeah, like you say your mama's so belt fat, her belt size the equator, and all of a sudden let's check it out.
No, no,
Oh
no, no,
wow.
no. That cuts to a scene of your mama being force fed until her whole body just balloons.
Mm. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And then
You see how the business sound fucked up now, don't it? Yeah, talk shit about somebody mama real fucked up now, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are sleeping on those horror movies. So once again, I gotta bring my boy up again. So I used to live with my boy Bazaris at one time, and he was watching this twisted this twisted Asian movie where it was students, and I think they had to do
Battle Royale.
Yeah, so I think that's what it's called.
Either Battle Royale or Tag.
Something like that. And it was a class, and you had the teacher who was putting them through all these freaking tests and all that stuff. And then eventually they got the teacher, and the teacher did the most gangster thing. Before he died, he got on the phone and I forgot who he called. He cussed him out, and then he just went over and he just died. I was like, yo.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that movie. I know exactly what the fuck. Yeah. Side note to all horror fans and just people that just like seeing some really shocking shit. Go check your foreign playlist. Go check your foreign section. I know you got to do a whole bunch of reading. Look at you illiterate fucks. You got to read the menu. Mm-hmm. You got to do that because there are some wonderful movies. The most notable is Train to Busan. That's one of the best fucking zombie movies that's come out in the last 10 years since Dawn of the Dead. Full-fledged, full-blown zombie movie. And it's up there. And it's straight foreign. They just redubbed it in English for you illiterate fuck.
Is it just me, or the thrill of American horror has it died off for me?
It didn't die
from the early 2000s. I won't say die off, but the thrill is gone. Like the mystique of it.
Well, it because America only goes for tried and true. And
because I think,
you like because America's got some low key, has had a lot of low key horror movies that weren't considered, they weren't marketed correctly, and that's why they fell through the cracks. And it's only upon looking at it years later and decades later that like Stir of Echoes with Kevin Bacon, that's actually a horror movie.
Yeah, it might as well count.
It's essentially a ghost story. Because the whole thing, you think he's hearing voices, but he really is hearing fucking voices. And there's a whole underlying ghost story that's being played out. There's the reasoning behind it.
But one movie that comes to mind, and it kind of gets on my nerves, is The Conjuring. Now, I understand that it's based upon that couple.
None of that shit is scary.
Yeah, and it's just like,
The Haunting in Connecticut was the last scary type movie of that genre based.
Right, because I think it's just an exaggeration. Movies, it's an exaggeration, but I'm not taking away from that couple for having these type of cases and all that stuff. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I would love to go to their demonology museum or something like that and actually see that shit. I'm not even gonna lie, just thinking about it kind of give me freaking goosebumps, because the one I think the one that's really gonna get at me is the fucking doll, because they say you're not supposed to look at the doll.
Well, they got a couple different dolls. You got the Annabelle doll.
That's
one you really don't want to fuck with. No, that's not the one you don't want to fuck with. The one you don't want to fuck with is Robin.
Because they said don't, like, if you go on the YouTube, because they actually got YouTube.
Here's the difference between Annabelle and the Annabelle doll is a vessel, in a sense. It's only frightening and has that allure to it because it was used as a conduit for an evil presence. On the other side, you got the motherfucking Robert the doll, which is basically the origin and idea for Chucky. Because there's something wrong with that motherfucker. Like, that whole thing is an entity unto itself. It's not a vessel that holds something. That fucking doll ain't right. Like,
Like literally ain't
You
right.
have to acknowledge it. You actually have to. There's confirmed stories of people that go visit it and are disrespectful, and these are cases from across the nation and across the world. So for all of them to happen in such a short time span from each other, and then from the initial time of going to that museum and fucking with that dog,
Yeah.
and now they got to send back money and charms and shit and appease this fucking dog like it's a god.
Yeah. But yeah, my boy Bizarre, I actually came across that movie and now I'm gonna have to watch it now.
No,
Now I'm gonna have to watch it.
it ain't it. Well, okay, it's one part. It's one part of the MPAA. I will agree with that, but then it's another part desensitizing. I can't say it right now, but that whole form of just because you and I know it's '80s babies.
Yeah.
The shit that they let us get away with watching in the '80s. What the fuck?
And see,
That's
that's
why
what I miss.
most of us have issues now. Cause we saw some
Yeah.
shit. We still trying to process that shit. Like he had a pig nose, but then there was demons and lipstick went in the girl's boobie, and she was saying, "Don't look at me." I was confused because like the top part of my body was scared, but there was a section of my body that was like, "I'm intrigued. Continue."
So my boy Bizarre,
Which confused me later on in life, makes me wonder about myself.
he put you got to ask Robert the dog to take his picture. That's how
Yes,
bad he is.
yes. No, he's worse than that. Besides that, you got to ask him permission for it. If that motherfucker catch you talking shit about him, and you could just be in earshot of the dog case, and it's like, man, fuck that nigga, Robert. And he hear you. Now you got bad juju. Like that Robert the dog is on a whole nother level. that could be the devil for all we know. I don't want to know.
Now I got second thoughts. I don't even want to go there now. Fuck that. I'd be like, yo, could you give me some good juju? That's a lottery. That's
Like, I feel like I got to go to church now. You just walk out and immediately feel like I got to go see my pastor Sunday. Like, you start calling him like pastor. I know it's been 27 years. I know, but can you pray with me over the phone real quick? What's your cash app? I'm about to send my tithes because I'm gonna be there Sunday. I'm gonna go ahead and send my tithes now. Can you pray with me though?
Look, and the thing is, you probably gonna have a friend like, man, we should go ahead and do it. No, your ass can go ahead and do it.
I'm good, my nigga.
Look, you good. Because I know you got that friend that's always going to be like, hey, man, let's go ahead and do it. And they're the ones that just take it to a whole nother fucking level when they get there. You going to have that one friend be like, you know what? What exactly what you said, man, fuck that damn dog. That dog ain't do shit to me. You be like, yo, hey, dog, whatever he said, I am not co-signing. That's
I just walk over like, hey, Robert, I just want you to see my face and be able to recognize the face with the voice and clearly distinct that I did not say those words that you heard moments ago. I just want you to understand that, and all is well with you in your world, and peace and blessings upon your spirit. Good day to you,
right. So whatever
you
happens
talking to a dog? No, I'm conversing with Robert.
I'm like, look, I'm saving my soul. I don't know what you're doing over there with your soul, but I'm saving mine. I want to live my life.
My nigga.
I know I go through a lot of shit in my life, but I don't want to add on top of that. You can enjoy that extra layer cake. I'm gonna enjoy my cake over here and eat it too. Shit. It's like you can go over there, you can enjoy all that shit that Robert got for you. Me and Robert, we cool. And I ain't talking about Robert Kelly neither. We cool. Shit. I probably might dap him up, be like, yo, man, I don't even know that nigga. You go ahead, you can do whatever you want with him. Shoot.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. There's one type I want to do a black horror movie that's just truly about black folk. It's just about a black man that's like in a typical demon slasher movie, but he keeps avoiding everything because his inner nigga just be like, nope, fuck that shit. Like every time a death is about to happen to one of his one of his peoples or the white folk around him, something just tell me I got to go pee. You know what? I'll be in there. Let me finish this cigarette. Or man, hold on, let me
Right.
talk. I'm coming in. I'm gonna finish texting this bitch real quick. Like it's always some random dumb shit, and it's like moments
Hmm.
later, that white person goes in and is just eviscerated and disemboweled. And he's just like, he calls him up like, well, fuck it, then I'm out there. He always just
Right.
walks away scathed clean, not knowing that this malevolent demon, dark serial killer that's just killing all the people around him. And the people like, I
Right.
don't know what's going on. It's like, I don't know what neither. But shit, it
Right.
ain't for me.
Right.
He just
Um.
refused to acknowledge it. I'm
So
talking about it.
I'm gonna go in here and
Oh yeah, I heard about
yeah,
that chair in the bar. They had to actually nail it to the ceiling.
yeah. It's crazy, man. Because I you know what? Let's go ahead and look it up. Let's look up Robert the Doll. Let's go in here, ladies and gentlemen. For y'all who don't know what we're talking about, so I'm gonna have to type this because they said that
Talking
it
about
was.
the devil.
Let me see, Robert. There we go, Robert the Doll. Let's see. Let me see. Two of the most cursed dolls. I'm trying to find a better one. I just hated how they just try to show an actual. All right, here we go. I got one for you. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get scared. Let me see. Robert the Doll and the Sears. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay, here we go. Here we
Mhm.
go. For everybody who's not knowing what we are talking about, or at least know what we're talking about, but here we go.
Tonight is the night. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, that's what it is. But I hate to say this is racist, but even white folk will admit this some white people shit.
All right, my dears, here he is.
Like niggas got
Everyone,
enough
say
common sense
hello
to
to
like hide
Robert.
Hello,
shit
Robert.
like that.
When
Yeah.
Robert
No, we
first
don't put it
walked into
all
the
up in the
East
building and
Martello,
put
the
lights around it
groundskeeper was
and
out
charge
No.
people to
patrolling the
see it.
grounds. When
Come see the
Rob
devil
descended the
dog that
hall
killed
with the lights
37
turned
people in
on,
27
which
countries.
is no way
Fuck
humanly
no.
possible
Bury that
because
some
there
bitch
were
in the
four
tar
fuse
pit.
boxes,
Yeah.
you would have to flip the switches all at once.
What's wrong with you, my
Robert did
nigga?
it. The first
That's why
curator
y'all always be
brought
dying on
Robert
some
in here and
bullshit.
she put Robert up
Why would you take a
against the
picture of
wall.
that?
Robert did not like that, nor did he like her. One day she was busy punching out her time card. She felt a stiff kick on her booty, and as she turned, she looked and saw a small child running down the corridor of the East Martello, dressed in a sailor suit. Robert did it. She screamed and ran out, never to return. Over here we have letters from people just like you from all over the world who have come to visit Robert. Upon the time of their leaving, they felt that misfortune had befallen upon them and that they had disrespected Robert in some sort of way. There is our address in case you feel the need to write us such a letter. Now, my darlings, do remember he's only been waiting 114 years to meet you, and tonight is the
What
night.
is that?
And look, he's smiling. See how happy Robert is that you all came out tonight to meet him. Gets really lonely
No.
sometimes, right, Robert? Thank goodness he has little baby Leo with him all the time.
It's sickening. I can see the damn thing
Yeah.
smile.
Yeah, actually, so people think it's a little dog, but it's actually a little lion, but he's also 114 years of age. Yeah, and so thank goodness or else he would be so lonely. If anyone has any questions about Robert, please feel free to ask.
I got a question.
Hi, Robert. Can I
Why the fuck y'all got him here? That's my question. Why the fuck he ain't burnt
Oh, you were playing.
or buried, covered in chains and roses?
Just look at
Hours.
that. Just give it just give it the damn crease. I'm removing it. Oh, woo, wait, man. I couldn't. I couldn't. I just couldn't.
Good.
I could not. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You can call me whatever y'all want.
Cool.
I F that.
Look, like my man from Class A. Y'all cool? Cool.
That's right. In the words of a wise friend, that dog can kiss a fat baby's ass. You damn Skippy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
I
god.
don't like dogs any goddamn way. My grandma had them and them.
Oh my gosh. Or you have one of those aunties that would have those teddy bears and they had those crazy ass looking ass dogs that you think be looking at you at night.
I was never cool with Teddy Ruxpin. Like the idea of it was cool, but I never wanted the Teddy Ruxpin that could actually work. Like just no, I don't want my toys to talk to me.
Oh hell no. And they come on at night. Oh, I'm swinging. Swinging or I'm running.
I'm good. Like, look, it's bad enough. Like I said, I grew up in the '80s, and we had posters. And what used to fuck my head up was you never realize how demented and evil the Ninja Turtles are until all four of them motherfuckers are looking at you from different angles in your room at night, and the light from outside shines through the blinds and just happens to catch Leonardo, who is directly in front of you on your closet door. The cut right over here, and so you just see nothing but malice and evil in here. Fuck that shit. That's why I don't fuck with nobody. And I love mascots. Understand this, but when Beast Johnson become global, mascots respectfully keep your distance. Because I may forget that there's a human being in there, and I might sucker punch you. Don't run up on me now. That's all I'm saying. I was traumatized as a child.
And Bizarre's hits it right too. That's those garbage pail.
Oh, Cabbage Patch. Cabbage Patch is like a weird bastardization of humans. That's like when people try to make humans and it goes wrong.
And they fucked up. Yeah. I got
like you really like I'm not blaming it on genetics. Like, no, nigga, like you really tried to play God. And it went horribly wrong. And now we got this weird little monstrosity that you want children to be like, hey, it's my baby. If I ever see a human baby that looks like that, there better be a genetic disease behind it. If not, your mama and daddy is cousins. That's the only other explanation.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue this on for Friday because we got revisit Beast Johnson's community. Beast, what you got on tap for us, dog?
I'm gonna talk about the secret joy that is Halloween. Why adults truly love Halloween.
Oh boy, well, ladies and gentlemen, you know what the time it is. Time for y'all to hop y'all ass up in this car and let's go ahead and drive down to Beast community.
Trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. If you don't, I don't care. I'll pull down your underwear. It's a wonderful, wonderful time of the year. You know, Halloween is actually the most enjoyable time of year for adults. You know why? Because, like the purge, it's the one day when you can just fucking do it. Embrace all the weird, the obtuse, the taboo, the dark, the morbid, the melancholy, and the morose, and all those other fancy words for evil. It's also a time of acceptance because you get to put on a mask, a costume. We accept you for that day for your choice, no matter what it is. You want to dress up like a big flaccid penis? Bravo to you, sir. Ma'am, you want to dress up like B. Arthur from the Golden Girls? Love your wig. Sir, you want to dress up like a 7'5" Beyonce from the Lemonade video? I love how you found some heels in a size 14 and a half. And them stiletto? Go ahead, my nigga. No one is fucking judged on Halloween. You'll have some questions. You'll have some wonders. But you truly never judge anybody for what they decide to wear that year for Halloween. Grown men can dress up like Dr. Frankfurter, head to toe, garter belt, bustier, lingerie, negligee, panties, and all. Not one motherfucker will bat an eye. In fact, the ladies will stop and take pictures, and the gentlemen will start singing. It's the one day that we actually stop giving a fuck about the little bullshit that actually separates us. And we just embrace the fact that we're all still children at heart that want to be something that we know will never be. And as a kid, you get candy. I mean, an inordinate amount of candy, ungodly amount of candy. Like candy from people you will never ever see again in your life and who might fucking hate you for your existence. But on Halloween, you get the king size. And as an adult, you get drunk. You get the party. It's the only time that you can see Miss Piggy dry humping the Burger King man. Only on Halloween. You see creativity. You see true embrace of the weird that makes up everybody, that we try to hide. If we could only embrace that mentality day in and day out, treat every day like Halloween. Because the truth of the matter is, the other 364 days, we're still walking around in costumes. It's just not the costumes we want to wear. It's not the costumes that we enjoy wearing. That's why adults go balls out on Halloween. I finally get to fucking wear a costume for society that I want to wear. And ain't a goddamn person out there gonna say shit about it. If anything, they'll we praise it and take pictures. Heck, it is the only day where people can really be themselves and have to remain closeted for the rest of the year. So as we move forward through this holiday season of families and good food and good tidings, let's keep hold and keep true to the Halloween spirit in our day-to-day interactions. No matter what they may appear to you, they're just wearing a costume. So accept them for the costume they chose to wear that day or the costume they're forced to wear that day. And give them a little compliment, a little smile, a little nod to the head and chuck up the deuce. Let them know you appreciate the effort they put into wearing that costume. maybe every day will be a little bit better. I feel like it'll at least be a little more tolerable. So happy Halloween. And never forget, the Nile is not just a river in Egypt. Have fun with your mask. I yield the floor. Y'all come on back.
And ladies and gentlemen, that will also do it for us. We will be back here on Friday to continue on. We promise to continue on talking about this thing called Halloween. And I just realized that I was already watching a scary movie from last night, and I'm about to go in here and finish. But first, I gotta go take a shower because I'm actually coming from work. But other than that, Beast, any last things, anything left that you want to say?
Have fun.
I concur on that one. But as for my dog, Beast Johnson, and for me, your great host, Donnell Lamonte Morris, thank you for tuning in to another edition of Hashtag Fade to Black. Once again, big shout out to Stephen Way. You're doing your thing out there, and Teach, who's enjoying her best life. We miss you. Did our boy Mayo, Money Never Sleeps. We
Make
miss
that
you
money,
too.
man.
Making that money. Thank you so very, very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. We are outro. We will see you on
Oh yeah,
Friday.
Africa, we waiting. We here.
Oh, we definitely waiting.
Come get us.
Just saying.
DMs is always open, baby. DMs is always open.
And we will catch y'all on the flip side. See y'all on Friday. Bye-bye.
Hey.